Kamala Harris pushed back on Donald Trump's national security credentials as the two leaders met face-to-face for the first time on a debate stage in Philadelphia Tuesday. The matchup marked a pivotal moment during the final sprint of a close race for the White House and saw Trump and Harris lay out starkly different visions for the future of America. It is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself, Harris said in a fiery exchange with her Republican rival.
Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself. It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear. They can manipulate you with flattery and favors. And that is why so many military leaders who you have worked with have told me you are a disgrace. That is why we understand that we have to have a president who is not consistently weak and wrong on national security, including the importance of upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
And she's the one that caused it. That's weak on national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168 different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. Putin endorsed her last week, said, I hope she wins. And I think he meant it, because what he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened with me. The leaders of other countries think that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline and approve the single biggest deal that Russia's ever made, Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline anywhere in the world going to Germany and all over Europe? Because they're weak and they're ineffective.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken began meetings with top UK officials in London on Tuesday, starting with his British counterpart David Lammy. The UK Foreign Secretary said their wide-ranging talks would cover the war in Ukraine, efforts to stabilize the Middle East, as well as partnerships in the Indo-Pacific region. Blinken said the UK remained an indispensable partner in dealing with Russian aggression, conflict in the Middle East and challenges posed by China. The visit comes amid a busy week of transatlantic diplomacy that also includes a meeting in Washington between British Prime Minister Keir Starmer and US President Joe Biden.
In my first week in office, I went to Washington, of course. We met for the NATO conference. We have been, I think we've spoken nearly every other week in that period, for which I'm hugely grateful. But on Russian aggression particularly, the backing and the stalwart position of standing with Ukraine, tackling the Iranian malign activity, and of course in our support and efforts to stabilize issues in the Middle East. This is hugely, hugely important. It's also important for our partnership in the Indo-Pacific and our approach to China. And so I'm looking forward to the discussions that will embed this strategic dialogue going forward, and I'm very, very grateful, Tony, for you spending the time here today. Here today and to open this bilateral.
For us, the UK is the indispensable partner when it comes to the very issues that David was talking about, whether it's dealing with the Russian aggression against Ukraine, whether it's dealing with the conflict in the Middle East, whether it's dealing with the challenge posed by China, and so many transnational issues that have no respect for borders and that have a profound impact on the lives of people around the world. I can't think of two governments, two countries, where we have more daily, sometimes hourly, communication on everything that matters, but making sure that we have the strategic framework for that is vitally important, and I'm so glad we're doing it. Thank you.
Thank you.